What would be a disappointment? I kind of feel like Brock Purdy feels like he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. So when I say that, I'm kind of like, I feel like we should at least get to the NFC Championship game with this team. I just feel like for me personally, it feels like it would be a disappointment. It feels like it's going to be a disappointment if we lose in any, no matter what, NFC Championship, Super Bowl, divisional round. You just never know in this NFL. Wild stuff can happen. It'll be a disappointment. But what the question I'm really asking is, what would you consider like a disappointment as far as like Brock Purdy or like, how am I really trying to word this? Like, oh man, that just, we coulda, shoulda, woulda. Oh, Shanahan, is back on the hot seat or just something like that. What would you guys, who's the biggest threat and what would have to happen for you to be like, that was just a failure?
Anything less than a Super Bowl victory is going to be disappointing, Celts, because I
Absolutely.
mean this team's been so close. Feels like so many times. So anything less than a Super Bowl is going to be disappointing. The biggest threat, first off, I got to say, every team you play in the playoffs is a threat, in my opinion. Um, Now, the biggest threat, I'm looking squarely at the NFC first and foremost, and I'm looking at the Eagles. I'm not getting ahead of myself and looking at the Super Bowl, but I feel like the Eagles, they're the 49ers and the Eagles, that's the top tier in the NFC. I feel like that's pretty clear. And Philly's got that mobile quarterback. We know mobile quarterbacks have given the 49ers some problems. We can look back as recently as Jared Stidham and the Raiders when they went combined for over 500 total yards against the 49ers. Stidham had some rushes in that game where he broke contain, made a throw, or broke contain, scrambled for a first down. And so the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is even way more mobile than Jared Stidham. So I'm looking at the Eagles. Obviously we know the talented wide receivers they have. AJ Brown is a monster. He's someone he's a very physical wide receiver, and he puts a lot of pressure on officials. Are you going to call offensive PI? Well, it's just a little forearm. It's like, no, they're not going to call it. So he gets away with some of this physicality downfield. Devontae Smith is, the Heisman winner, former Heisman winner, supremely talented, great route runner. Then they got their tight end back, Dallas Goddard. They got weapons. 49ers got weapons all over. But the Eagles also got some weapons. Miles Sanders coming out of the backfield. I don't know how he got the Pro Bowl nod ahead of Christian McCaffrey. Those voters weren't paying attention. But so biggest threat, I'm looking at the Eagles.
Hey, I just want to mention, of course, we are a 49er channel, but we are in the NFC West. So we do have other content creators that come in, like Remilia Sports Report. Sometimes Payo comes in. I just want to say appreciate you, Cjin, for coming in. I know you're a Seahawks fan, and he
Real
always
talk.
comes to my channel, Jay in the Bay. So I appreciate you coming here and looking forward to the game this Sunday for sure. But just want to say appreciate your support and every other fan base who wants to come in and just say what's up and be respectful in the chat. So I just wanted to mention that. Biggest threat is the 49ers themselves. It's the man in the mirror. I don't think there's any team that can really beat us when we play our game. I think, physical on both sides of the ball. I think we have, talented. We have Pro Bowl, all pro caliber players at every level, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I know there are other talented teams, but I'm going to take that approach. The biggest threat to the Niners is themselves. That's what it is. If we come out, the right game plan, we execute like we know we can. I just don't think there's a team that can really stop us. Will there be some close games in the playoffs? Absolutely, but I think if we come in with our game plan and execute, I think we'll be just fine. I think we've seen over the last 6 games that Brock Purdy has kind of, dare I say, uplifted this team, uplifted the morale of this team, and I think we're actually better with
And the
Brock
fan base.
and the fan base. Yeah, oh yeah, fan base love them some Brock. Now, as far as disappointment for the season, I would have to agree. It is crazy that a third string quarterback, a rookie, winning a Super Bowl, that is a crazy, like, Cinderella type story. But, expectations are high. This isn't CYO. This isn't, the NBA G League. This isn't, the XFL. This is the pros, man. This is the NFL. So You know, you just got to continue to perform and execute. So yeah, anything less than a Super Bowl victory, I would be disappointed as well, just like Eric.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with y'all, man.